Hey guys, welcome back to another Division 2 video. So with this week's 5 times XP bonus, there's no better time to farm those shade levels. And at the time of making this video, we only have 4 days and 9 hours left. With the weekend coming up, I know a lot of people are going to be looking to get those shade levels and farm all the loot. Now if you're a new or returning player, or just don't have a lot of time to play, this video is going to be for you. I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks and show you what you should be looking for to maximize those XP gains. So with that, let's get into it. So the first thing we want to do is, if you have any control points captured, we want to reset the map. The reason why we want to reset the control points is that when they're hostile, they'll have activities like this attach them with a line. If you have the control points taken over, then these activities won't spawn with the control points. Now you'll still have activities like this that's not attached to anything, but what we want to do is maximize the number of activities that are going to spawn on the map. So once we've reset the control points, we're going to be farming public executions, and they're marked with this icon. And the reason why we're going to be farming mostly these is because they give you the most experience for how long they take. So keep in mind, if you're a player who's kind of in between challenging and heroic, challenging with one directive is actually going to yield more experience than heroic with no directives. So you can see here on challenging with one directive, we get 234,000 experience. So let me switch to heroic real quick. And you can see public executions only give you 230,000 on heroic. So farming on challenging with any number of directives is going to be far more efficient than heroic with no directives. So let's fast forward a little bit so we can get this map populated. So once you have your map populated with activities, what we don't want to do is we don't want to keep resetting our map. Okay, so let's take a look around here. So you can see there's quite a lot of activities populated around the map. A lot of things attached to control points, a lot of things over here. So now I'm going to reset the map and show you what it looks like. So we're going to reset, and then you're going to have a 10-second timer right here before it resets. And I don't know about you, but I'm already getting impatient. Okay, now it has to load, and you're going to load back into a safe location. Okay, now let's take a look at the map. And now all of our activities are gone. Almost all of these areas are completely blank. There's a few activities here and there, but it's nothing like it just was. So unless you have a giant mess of activities and you have things that we don't want to do, like propaganda broadcasts mixed into all of your stuff, or if you have a map that's just kind of like half populated and it doesn't seem to be generating activities, then we can reset the map and try and get something new. But for the most part, we want to try and stick with this same map. So now let's get into what we're going to be looking for. Now, as I said earlier, we're going to be mostly looking for public executions, but what we really want is for them to spawn within close proximity of each other. So you can see right here, we have 3 of them right in a line, right next to a fast travel point. So you can see I'm on DCD headquarters. Now you can also see that there's a territory control right here. Now these are also very fast, but they only give you about half the experience of a public execution. So we're not going to go out of our way to do these, but when they're in a line like this, go ahead and do them. Now when it comes to propaganda broadcasts, we want to completely avoid these altogether. They give a decent amount of experience, but the problem is that they're super slow. They're going to spawn like 3 or 4 waves of enemies, and it involves running around picking up a key, and they're overall just super slow, so I would completely avoid these. So now let's look at some other areas that you need to be watching out for. I'm here in the southwest. You can see Air and Space Museum mission is right here. Zoom out a bit. It's right here. So you can see we have 3 public executions and a territory control all in a line. And there's even a resource convoy right here, and those are also great to do. if they're on the way. We're not going to go out of our way to do them, but since it's here, it'd be a good one to hit. So another area I like to hit is up here on West End. We're going to fast travel to DZ West Main Gate, run up this road, hit this public execution, run down here, hit this one, and a lot of times, by the time you're done with this one will actually respawn, so this is a great spot to look out for. So now let's look at the best place you need to be keeping an eye on, and that's West Potomac Park. You can see I have 6 public executions spawned all at the same time. So what you want to do is fast travel to the Tidal Basin mission, and you're just going to run this route right through here and hit these 4. Now I've even had a 5th one spawn here and a 6th one spawn here. And when you get them all in a line like that, that is just crazy experience. Now on this side you have one over here and one right here, and I've even had a 3rd one spawn up here and a 4th one spawn down here. So when you're farming, definitely keep an eye on this spot. So when you're running through West Potomac Park, what you don't want to do is actually you don't want to pick up these bounties, because what this is going to do, so you can see I'm right here, what this bounty is going to do is it's most likely going to spawn right here, and it's going to override all of these activities. So if you have a bunch of public executions right here, you do not want to accidentally override them. But on the flip side, if you have these propaganda broadcasts eating up spawn points for better activities, what we can do is if you have a bounty, we're going to go up here, we're going to activate this bounty, and now you can see it has overridden all the activities in this area. So then what we're going to do is we're going to abort the bounty. And now you can see it's cleared the area for hopefully better activities to spawn here. So while you're waiting for these activities to spawn, we can go look around the map. Let's go look in the southwest area. Now you can see 3 public executions and a territory has spawned again. Over here there's 2 by DCD headquarter again. And up here by the DZ West main gate. Now while you're running around doing those, hopefully when you come back here, better activities will have spawned by then. So there's not always going to be these big clusters of activities around. So I'm going to show you a few spots that I like to hit. So there's DZ East, there's a territory control here a lot of times with a public execution. And then if we go up here to District Union, you can see a territory control, public execution, another one right here. Let's go around, look over here. I like to come to this federal emergency bunker a lot. There's public execution right here and a territory control, and a lot of times there will be another public execution right here. So when you start running these routes, or any other routes in the game for that matter, you want to pay attention to where the second wave is spawning from, because most of these spots only have 1 or 2 spots the second wave can spawn from. So when you start becoming more familiar with the activities, you can put yourself in a much better position to where you can spawn kill the enemies and drastically increase your efficiency. So just to give a couple examples, I'm here in West Potomac Park. I'm right here next to Tidal Basin. I'm up on this catwalk, and if you're doing a territory control, the second wave will always spawn out of this door. So what you want to do is, as you're killing the first wave, you want to try and make your way up here, so when the second wave spawns, you're ready for them.
Hostile assembling golden bullet. Agent received golden bullet. Detecting additional hostile contacts.
So the next area is very common for a public execution to spawn here. I'm right here. This is what the area looks like, and the second wave will always spawn out of this building right here. Most of them will run out of that door, sometimes 1 or 2 will run out of that door. But public executions will always spawn out of this building. anyway, that's the video, everyone. Did I miss any tips and tricks? Let me know what your favorite farming route is in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Additional hostile contact.